It's perfect. All right, guys, ready to do this?
Yeah, because we're
All
on.
right, guys, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Kickback Committee Happy Hour. So great to have you hanging with us on this fine baby Friday. I'm Susannah Fuller alongside David Goss, and today we have a very, very special guest with us. A guy who knows a thing or two about the great city of brotherly love. I mean, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is
Let's
the
go.
focus of our 50 states of soccer. We have the creator of the really, really freaking awesome soccer lifestyle brand, Live Breathe Futbol, Ebun Olaloye. What is up, Ebun? So great to have you. Thank you so much for kicking it with us on the Kickback Committee Happy Hour.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so as I mentioned, Pennsylvania is the focus of our 50 States of Soccer tour, but it's a big
hmm
state, man. Like it's like I feel like there are multiple sort of factions within the great state of Pennsylvania. Philadelphia kind of being it's just its own thing, its own brand.
Yeah.
It's a city that you know very, very well. Went
Yes.
to university there. So just kind of like big picture, can you tell us why Philadelphia is a great soccer city?
Well, that's a really, really good question. Uh, so I think Philly's a great soccer city for many reasons. One being just the amount of diversity in the city. I'm an immigrant. I wasn't initially born in Philadelphia, but I've spent most of my life here in Philadelphia. So at this point, I consider myself a Philadelphian. And so many other people come from all over the world to live in Philadelphia, whether it's just to study, work, or just to raise a family. And so for me, when I went to Temple, we used to show our actual Facebook group of all the guys that we played pickup with was called United Nations because everyone's just from all over the world, right? I think, and most of us stayed in Philadelphia after graduation. So I think that's one reason that Philly is such a great soccer city because you meet so many people from all over the world. That's the first thing. I think also too, like Philly has a great and rich soccer history. Right? You think of the kick and all this sort of just different pre-MLS um, just clubs that were based. So I think that's the one reason I would say why Philly is a great soccer city. But I think more than that, Philly has a lot of great like outdoor spaces, um, and sort of also different pockets of the city you can play soccer at. So South Philly, you can go to West Philly, you can play Northeast where we played a lot of soccer while I was in college and still to this day. So. And we're also pretty close to a lot of the suburbs as well, so there's also like a rich soccer culture there. I think all of it kind of just like blends well together to make Philly kind of what it is today.
I feel like it is a huge playing city where it's like some cities you go first,
Hmm.
like, okay, this is soccer bars, this is pro
Yeah,
teams.
yeah,
It feels like Philly, like that's the core of the soccer culture is that whatever it's men's league, pickup, co-ed, whatever it is.
yeah. That's actually a really good point. Casa League was started here in Philadelphia. I've played in Casa since gosh 2009 when I was still in college, and just seeing what Casa has become now. They've expanded to Boston and different cities, but
I
like
played
you
in it.
mentioned, David, yeah, it's like a big playing city. Like I've played in so many different leagues. We have the Icarus Cup in the summertime. You know what I mean? We have like Casa has. I play still to this day 4 times a week. Once in Jersey, one league in Jersey, and then the other are Casa leagues here in Philadelphia. I just got here to play tonight. I don't usually play Thursday nights, but I'm going to play at 10:30 tonight. Do you know what I
Ooh.
mean? At just literally, it's like at Penn Park, which is 10 minutes from me. So yeah, like you're right. Philly's a big playing city, which I love. Like I still at 35 love to play soccer and never want to stop playing. So I'm happy I live in a city like Philly where I don't have to even find the game. The game kind of just starts to find me. Yo, do you want to play tonight? Yo, do you want to get pick up tomorrow? So I'm playing pickup. I'm playing a game tonight. Pick up tomorrow. Have a little bit of a break on Saturday and have a game on Sunday, right? So for me, that's one of the things I really love about living in Philly is because like I'm never too far from the action when it comes to playing.
That's amazing. I love Philly. Gus is like a massive Philly stan, so I
Yeah.
hear
I'm a New
all.
Yorker born and bred. I went to
But
school in Boston and I think Philly's legit. So that's how like my
Wow.
and the fight I had with Susanna or what I told her, the fight I have every time with this one group of friends, whenever we're drinking, we always go, what are the tier one cities, tier two cities, America, blah, blah, blah. I always put
hmm
Philly in one. And they're like, no,
Wow.
no way. It's a great city. You always have a good time. There's a lot to do. So you don't get sick of it. Like Boston's a great weekend. That's different. Philly is like a
Yeah.
real city where you've got a lot going on. That
I agree
those
with that.
those are my
DJ and
cards
I
on the
talk about
table.
this all the time. He loves New York. He's always big about it. But I'm like, I spent time in New York. I enjoyed my time in New York. Like, I'm happy to come back to Philly. You know what I mean? Like, like you said, there's so much to do here. It's never too far. You know what I mean? Like, food is amazing. I think Philly's a very
Yeah,
underrated food city.
agreed.
Like, there's so many great restaurants I've tried. So many even more that I haven't even tried at all. Places to hang out, soccer, like whatever it is you want, you have in Philadelphia. And I live 15 minutes from the airport. So if I ever want to travel, I don't have to like drive 45 minutes away or get out of the city to go somewhere. I can just like hop in my car within 10 minutes. I'm at the airport, you know what I mean, and come back home. So I think Philly is low key underrated in that sense. I think it's because we're so close to New York that people tend to think, oh, New York, New York, New York. But no, don't sleep on Philly.
No, absolutely not. I love the history that's seeped there in just like the United States, like the origins of basically this entire country like started in Philadelphia. And it's like for me, the history in Philadelphia is far richer than in New York City. And I love that about it because I'm a bit of a history nerd. I like to geek out on that stuff. So yes,
And
that's my
if you love art, Philly has is the city with the most public art in the country. People don't know
It's
that.
yeah, no, it does. It has a wild. Oh gosh, look at Goss. Look at Goss. He's got his.
You
Got
saw the sun come out.
this.
The
I
sun
saw
literally
it
popped
happening.
out
I
on
was
me
like, oh
at
no,
the worst possible moment.
it's coming. It's coming. Well, as you mentioned, like the art scene, Ebun, like talk to
Yeah.
me about Live Breathe Football because this is
Yep.
it's such a cool. I don't. I wish there was a better word than cool to describe like what you've done with this sort of brand, this lifestyle brand that's obviously inspired by soccer. But this, you created this like in Philadelphia while you were at Temple
Yeah.
University.
Yeah.
Kind of talk to us about like just what went into the creation of this and how inspired were you by Philadelphia? How much input like an impact did that have on you basically creating what it is?
Yeah. I mean, LBF wouldn't exist if in the way it does now if I didn't go to school in Philly. Like I said, I was born and raised in Nigeria. In high school, I started painting t-shirts. I went to high school in South Jersey. And so at that time, I just knew I wanted to have a clothing brand. But you go to college and you kind of get distracted. But LBF was inspired directly by everyone I met that we were playing pickup. I mean, we'd play pickup every night till 10, 11, sometimes midnight. I would skip class to go play pickup. I would skip class to watch. This is when the Champions League was still on ESPN. And then we'd go to like the student center. They had this big projector room. We would all gather and watch the Champions League. So for me, just that experience was what inspired Live Breathe Football. Because to me, like that's what we were doing. I was like, yo, we're living and breathing football. Like this is, what I mean. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll never forget skipping my midterm review to watch Arsenal play Barcelona with that famous 2-1 victory at the Emirates. Like I have these very strong memories that inspired the creation of the brand as it is today. And part of that's sort of Philly, going to South Street, see all the art there and all the murals and all of that. Like I think just all those things put together really inspired me to create LBF in a way that I don't think I could have done if I went to Penn State or something else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of what you've built it to now over the last 10 plus years, like what has it been like
Mm-hmm.
having a brand in a space where, me and Susannah know, right? Soccer is the next sport, or it's coming, or it's emerging, or it's here, but then it went away, or it's only Premier League, or it's only Liga MX. Like, what's your experience been like working inside of all of that?
That's a really great question. For me, soccer's always been my one and only sport. So when I started the brand, it started with like I didn't do like market research. I think okay, soccer's the next sport to come up. It was none of that. It was just an expression of what I cared about and what I saw day to day. Like you couldn't tell me soccer wasn't the biggest sport in the world because of where I grew up, but also I'm playing soccer every day for 3 hours and there's 30, 40 of us playing soccer. So like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like it was kind of this bubble, you know what I mean? But at the same time, as the brand's trajectory kind of mirrors soccer's trajectory in America. I remember having to watch illegal streams in college, trying to watch the Premier League in different games, right? First row sports, shout out. And then we got NBC Sports playing the Premier League. We can watch every single Premier League match, right? And then now you have, the Club World Cup is here. The World Cup's going to be here next year. So like our trajectory is really like mirrored what's been happening with the growth of soccer in this country. So for me, it's kind of been really a blessing in that sense. but also like for me, all I've ever cared about was soccer, right? I've never been anything else in my professional career. And I knew in college when I started LBF, I was like, if I want to be successful in life, soccer has to be involved in some way, shape, or form. And I knew I didn't want to get a job after college. I didn't want to go back to grad school. I've never had a real job. Like, this is all I've ever done in my professional career. So for me, it had to work. You know what I mean? Like, so I was willing to put the time in to kind of just keep building the branding. And I know year over year we'd see growth, but obviously as soccer's exploded in popularity, we've also kind of seen a lot of growth just from that. Just even some of the brands and companies we work with now, it's just testament to the fact that, like, 5-10 years ago, there's no way we have an MLS license, right? But now it makes more sense that, oh, okay, well, we want to grow our licensing business. Well, who's in the space? Well, LBF has been there for 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it took a lot of just sort of committing early on to say, hey, we're going to take a chance on soccer in a way that like felt natural, and not necessarily in a way that like people go, oh, well, we're going to wait and see where soccer goes in the next 5 or 10 years. Because if I would have done market research on it wouldn't have been the thing I would have picked to do, But for me, it was just, I'm one of those really obsessive people where if I want to do something, I'm just going to figure out a way to make it work and be successful at it. And for me, it was very clear. I remember when I drew the first LBF shirt, I was just like, yo, like, I love soccer so much. I keep skipping classes to play soccer. Like, I almost didn't graduate because I was just in class, like, designing T-shirts. My professor was like, yo, like, what are you doing, So for me, I knew that I had to, like, give this everything. And luckily, obviously, the sport's been growing, thankfully. And we've been able to grow a business from that. But for me, it was just kind of like, this is all I care about. So I have to figure out a way to make this work.
That's like the old saying, right? Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
Which is,
Absolutely.
I kind of feel that way as well, doing what I do. It's pretty special, and it's really, really amazing what you have created and how it's grown and how it's kind of evolved, because I think like there's such an authenticity to what you do with Live Breathe Futbol. Like, we know, like, obviously talking to you, we know that you love soccer. We know that you love the sport. And it shows with the, what you guys create through this line. And I see like, American Eagle just put out this like line, like they've got like Arsenal and Man City and it's just, you're like, okay, that's cute, but like this is authentic.
Yeah.
Like, this is the real deal. And I feel like that is what's so cool about what differentiates you from sort of this like mainstream. Like, soccer is trendy, but like you have been there. And so keeping that in mind, I want to ask you what your favorite collab has been, the one that kind of like for you just sort of epitomized what Live Breathe Futbol is all about, and also what is your dream collab?
I would say my favorite collab. Okay, they're all my favorites, right?
Okay.
I was gonna say it's like picking between children,
right? And there's different reasons for that. Like, if I had to pick one, I would say it was the collab we did with Sporting Kansas City in 2017, and the reason for that was because that was the very first one, right? At the time, it was just still like a project, right? And then I met someone when it was MLS All Stars in Kansas City in 2013. So I met someone who worked for Sporting KC at the time, kept in touch with them, and I reached out to them and said, "Hey, you guys have this really cool thing called Sporting Style. Like, how do y'all do that? Because I want to do the same thing with the Philadelphia Union." And they put me on the guy to talk to, spoke with him, and he was like, "Listen, I can tell you how to do it with the union, or you can just do it with us, because like I love you guys doing that." And for me at that time, I was like, "Oh wow, someone actually genuinely in a position." A real tastemaker and a real difference maker. And his name's John Monka. He was I think like head of revenue at Sporting KC at the time or something. Really cool dude. He was like, "Yo, we could do the collection together." And that was like our very first like collab. And it was a challenge because we were doing scarves and hat. There was just so many dimensions to that collection, and they did really, really well. And then from there, the following year, Adidas came. We did a collab with them. We did a collab with Portland Thorns after that. So I think that was the one that set everything else in motion from that point, because it showed, hey, these guys don't just make cool T-shirts, like they can actually make product.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one like has to top the pile just because of someone took a big chance on us. But then from there, I would say the Philadelphia Union collab we did in 2023. that's our hometown club. You know, I've been a fan of the Union since before the team even came to Philly. So it's kind of seeing what the club has become, and then being able to do that collab, and then just even seeing how well it was received. You know, it was sold out by halftime of the game that it launched. That all of that to this day, we still getting much for some of the product from that drop. You know what I mean? 2 years on, so I would say that's probably my next favorite, just because of like it's the hometown club. You know, I'll go to Subaru Park, and I'll still see people wearing just different pieces from that collection, which always feels good.
Have you? I mean, I know you experienced Club World Cup a little. I weirdly have this hat on, which is not related to that. That was the closest hat to my hand. Have you thought about what a World Cup's going to look like in Philly next year, and like what it'll mean, what the vibe will be?
Yeah, we've done a lot of thinking about that. You know, for us, it's an opportunity to kind of give the brand like a face in terms of like, because I think a lot of people experience LBF online. Like you see it on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, or like this sort of like very small screen, you see it on the website, whatever it is. Um, so we want to kind of have some more like activations where you get to really experience what Live Breathe Football is like. So for us, it's just like doing pop-ups and things like that. But also everyone who's coming from across the world, you know, come and experience what Philadelphia is. The same way I've experienced when I was in college. Just, you know, like, this is a genuine, a real soccer city. I want people to feel that. And any way we can contribute to people feeling like, yo, wow, like, okay, you know, America has a stigma of not caring about soccer, right? You know, it's not a top five sport for us, which is fine, but like people really care about soccer in this country. And I'd love for people who are coming to Philadelphia, whether they come from Argentina, France, Mexico, wherever it is, to come here and be like, okay, wow, like I didn't think this is what Philadelphia had to offer, but I'm glad I came here.
Then we got to get an NWSL team in Philly. It's too long.
We have to. We have to. We have to.
It's
We have to. We
crazy.
have to. NWSL is blown up right now, and I just think we need a women's, because you know we play. I played co-ed. I've played like in all sorts of leagues in Philly, and like there's a lot of incredible women that play soccer in Philly. I just don't think it's represented enough. And I think NWSL team would be a good way to kind of shine more light on the the women's soccer scene in Philly.
Oh,
Suze, call the Kelseys and get it done.
do you know we're tight.
I know you are.
Basically,
I don't even know her
besties.
actual name right now. Kylie?
Kylie
Yeah.
Kelsey.
I got nervous.
You know, she's one of these where it's like I know, like I don't know her, but I feel like if we did, we'd probably get along really well. So
You got Kylie Kelsey's types in your life, is what
we'll
you're
make
saying.
it happen,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay, so looking ahead to the World Cup, Ebun, like obviously this is such a huge opportunity, and I'm sure like for you, you feel like you have to capitalize on the moment because this is going to be seismic for the sport in North America. So can you kind of give us any hint as to some of the ideas that you guys are throwing out there to be visible, have that incredible visibility where it be kind of, you know, Live Breathe Football becomes sort of synonymous, like people all automatically identify it.
Yeah, I can't give too much away, but we'll definitely be everywhere. I think for us it's important, you know, to activate. We had an opportunity to activate sort of like a lot of the host cities, but I was like, Philly's our hometown. Like we need to really like do a coming out party, in some sense. But I think from a product standpoint, people are gonna see what we're really capable of. Like some of the product we're making for just around the World Cup is some of the best we've made personally. And if I wasn't, you know, the founder of the company, or if I wasn't even involved in LBF, I'd be like, holy shit, these guys are like on a different level. Like just because it's like really, really good product. Just a lot of things we haven't done before. A lot of things I think in the context of the World Cup, I think people really love to see. So yeah, product is amazing. In terms of like activation, just collaborating with different partners. You know, whether that's like, you know, soccer bars in Philly. I know we had talked about that a little bit. Just different opportunities to just maximize the in-person experience. Because, you know, in 2018 we had done a collab with Adidas. It wasn't really like it wasn't a product focused thing. There was like the coaches convention in Philly, and they said, hey, we're relaunching the Predator boot. We heard you guys are the ones in Philly. Like we had this massive space sort of activate on that. And we designed a really cool activation. I think it was over the course of 4 days. We had local Philly artists come in live paint. We give our free haircuts. It was like a whole vibe, right? We did a lot of really cool build outs and stuff like that. So just imagine something like that, but just like turned up to like 11. You know what I mean? It's kind of what we're trying to do, because I want people to come to Philly and feel like they're in an authentic, like soccer city, and like Live Breathe Football is the brand that, like, because I don't think anyone else can really do it the way we would do it. Not because like in terms of resources, but just who
Your
we are. Like
passion.
we've been in this from the jump. Like I know everyone who's played soccer in Philly for years. You know what I mean? So I think it's really tapping into that network and trying to build something memorable for the World Cup.
And for anyone out there who's not from the U.S. and is thinking about coming, obviously Canada and Mexico as well. But I think one of the big complaints and worries for people is like, how are you going to get to stadiums, how close they are to cities, all that type of stuff. Philly and Atlanta are probably the two easiest in which you can walk, you can take public transit, you can be in the parts of the city you want to be in and get to the stadium. So my guess is whoever goes is going to have a good time. And for anyone who's out there in the world who's like, I want to go to the World Cup, I don't know where I want to go, I don't know where I want to end up, you could do a lot worse than Philly, and I think it would be a really good time. Plus in the summer, the weather will be nice. But can we get some of these specific things for our scouting report from you so that people can learn a little bit more about this? So one of the things we do is soccer bars. You mentioned some soccer bars. And I will note for everyone, we had Megan Klingenberg on our NWSL Soccer Wise show yesterday. She's from Pittsburgh. So we got some Western PA vibes already. We talked, she explained how to say Lancaster to me because I called it Lancaster.
Wait,
so,
what?
I didn't know that's how you say it.
Lancaster?
Yeah, I didn't know that's how you say it. So we got that vibe as well. But you don't have to tell us what everyone would say. But for you, what's the best soccer bar in Pennsylvania?
In Pennsylvania, I haven't been to every soccer bar in Pennsylvania.
So what's your Philly one? You could just give us Philly.
So Philly, all right, I'll give you two answers. For me, 700 Club is my favorite. And it's just because the dudes behind there, like, they recently sold it. But the OG guys, man, we'd go there because I used to live in Fishtown in Northern Liberties, the next neighborhood over. And we'd walk there and watch, like, Premier League games in the morning. And these guys were all soccer dudes. We'd all play pick up just down the street at this gym. So I would say from, like, just, like, the local, very small vibe, like, that was the bar for me. But as far as, like, a bigger soccer bar that's legendary, I would say Brauhaus Schmitz on South Street. You know, especially during big tournaments like World Cups, Euros, that's the kind of bar. That's a bar you want to go to. I remember also, I'll never forget the 2010 World Cup. You know, we watched the final because after they shut down the street, they had this massive screen outside.
Love that.
There's maybe thousands of people out there. Watch the Euros there. So yeah, I would say probably Brauhaus Schmitz is the one that if you were visiting Philly and you maybe during the World Cup, you probably couldn't get to the stadium or whatever it is. I would say that's probably a good bar to go to where you could probably get a decent amount of people in there. But my personal favorite, just from like just years and years of going to 700 Club.
Have you been to either of those, guys?
I don't think so. I've been to Fishtown and I've been to some of there's like some beer gardens out there. I think I've randomly watched soccer, but I don't think I've been to either of those, which means I have to go back to Philly so that I can go.
Yeah. And then I'll say Fido is probably the one that like, a lot of people are with because it's right downtown. That's like,
I think I've been there.
Games, you've probably been to Fido.
I'm pretty sure I've been to Fido.
Fido is cool. The setup is not necessarily my favorite. You know what I mean? But I would say like it's definitely one of the big ones. It's a sports bar in general, but as far as like, I think it might be a Celtic bar if I remember. If I'm not making that up, but it's also a good bar to.
Let me ask this, because New York has shifted in this over the last 5-7 years, but on an average Wednesday Champions League weekend, is there soccer on in a lot of bars or sports bars, or is it still you have to ask to have it put on in a lot of places?
So we have a 86-inch TV at the office, so I rarely ever leave the office to go watch Champions League.
Why would you?
So I can't really say if like soccer bars have it on midday, but on weekends, yeah, like if you wanted to wake up and go watch Premier League or like you can find places to watch it, no problem. Yeah. We're actually trying to turn our office, because our old office, we moved to a new one recently, but our old office, we'd have this thing called Eggs and Megs. So on usually Saturday mornings, we'd have breakfast. So we have like, usually waffles, eggs, bacon, the whole thing, drinks, coffee and all that. And just invite people to watch. Usually the big games that weekend, so like, City, Arsenal or Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever the big game is. And we usually get like 20 to 40 people coming out and watching the game, but we haven't done it in our new office yet just because we've been so busy. But it's one of those things I want to bring back. Just just like a cool vibe to a cool place to hang. Because one of the things that people mentioned when we did the Eggs and Megs was this one guy would come with his kids, and he was like, "Look, I like waking up and having them watch soccer, but the problem is like a soccer bar is really rowdy, so like it's a lot for them in the morning." Do you know what I mean? But like at LBF, no one's going crazy. We're just drinking coffee, eating breakfast, and just watching the game.
Very
so
civilized.
that's like a vibe we're gonna definitely bring back. Kind of going into the World Cup is just doing more of that, activating around like just marquee games on the weekend. Probably gonna have a few people over on Sunday for the El Clasico, to just kind of do a little test run at this new office. It's a lot bigger, a lot more space, kind of chill and hang out. But yeah, so maybe LBF will become the new spot to watch.
Hell yeah.
The new spot to watch games at.
What about hallowed ground? So we put this for a couple states. Some states you get a pro stadium. Some states it's where the state championships are. Some states it's the best pickup spot. Like when you think of like soccer in a location and where it's played, like what comes to mind?
Two places for me. I would say Pennypack Park. Everyone who's played soccer in Philly knows of Pennypack Park. It's in Northeast Philly. It was just like massive, just a bunch of different fields, right? So everyone just played there, but like horrendous like pitches. Like I mean, like I've rolled my ankle 900 times. Like you will just plant your foot just gives out. Terrible field. Like you can never track the bounce of the ball. But it was just like kind of where I just remember like really starting like my Philly soccer career in terms of like just like playing in Casa League. But I would say now I'd say Penn Park is like a legendary spot because I mean we played soccer pickup there for almost 20 years. And it's like right, it's right in West Philly on Penn's campus. It's right where the FMC tower is. So at night, just like the lights, like the highway's right there, the train station is right there. Just like a really, really cool vibe. We shot a few commercials for LBF actually on that field too. So I think that's probably a big one. If you just went to Penn Park at 6:00 right now, I can just rock up there right now and just pick up going on there right now.
I think I've taken the Amtrak through a million times and I've seen it from there and always been like, I'd rather be doing that than sitting on a train.
Yep. So Penn Park is obviously the legendary one, but OGs watching this, they know Pennypack Park. That's like, I don't even know if it still exists anymore, but it's all the way in Northeast Philly and just like horrendous grounds. But I mean, played some really good ball up in there back in the day.
Okay, and then what about rival states? Is there one?
You mean like New York or something like that?
It could be. When we did this for New Jersey, we had one of ours, Tom Bogert, on, and Tom said every state because New Jersey's always had rivalry. Yeah. So I think Arizona said their rival's California, but California doesn't know they exist, so you'd have to say New Mexico. So it could go any way you want. I guess when I put this down on our list, it said New Jersey or Ohio, depending on if you're Pittsburgh or Philly.
I think it depends on where you live in Pennsylvania, because again, it's a very big state.
Okay, so we don't have to have one. It sounds like Philly's in the New Jersey direction of it's everyone.
Yeah, I would say it's everyone because our whole slogan is like no one likes us, we don't care. So like, who gives a fuck? Everyone's a rival.
Everyone can get it. Everyone. Yeah.
Literally, everyone can get it equally. Exactly. We have equal smoke for everybody. But I would say probably typically I'll say New York sports. Giants, whatever. When it comes to like American football, Philly and we call it the '95 rival. With Red Bulls. So I'd say the New York's cities of the world. They think they're better than us or whatever. But
they think they're better than us. I like that line. Just in case they were wrong and they thought they were better.
Right.
And then we've got to go through our five-a-side, which
it's
not the easiest state that we have, which is credit to Pennsylvania. It is also, we've talked about the history a couple of times. We've talked about the history as the U.S. country. But for soccer, it's like, Bethlehem Steel going back 100 years. Walter Barr was captain of the 1950 World Cup team, is from Philadelphia. I think UPenn probably has something to do with that. Of course, you talked about how diverse it is and people coming from all countries that are soccer passionate and all of that. So there's a lot of names that could end up on this list. Do you have any that are like 100% for sure have to be on there?
Like, it's okay. Do you mean like people who are like played for like the Kicks or like things like that, or like
no, from Pennsylvania? So like grew up there. What we like to try and say is like, what would a person rep, and like where they're from. So like Christian Pulisic, I think would be a first one, but obviously we'll probably never play in Pennsylvania professionally. I don't know if the Philadelphia Union
never say never, Goss.
Stumble over $1 million and $200 million, whatever they end up being. So that's normally what we try and go with.
Okay.
And I didn't know if there was anyone. We have a huge list, so we'll go through it and we'll put it out. But if there's anyone that you think has to be a part of it.
I mean, Zach Steffen,
Yep.
Pulisic, obviously from Hershey.
He's on the list for sure.
It's crazy. Steffen was like around the Philly Academy, played for Pittsburgh on loan, but never played for Philly Union, which is like kind of a travesty. And Matt Freeze, we had on this show a couple of weeks back when he came out of national team camp. He's like, every offseason we train with Zach Steffen. Like Steffen trains me, and then named like 4 other professional goalkeepers who are from his area. And you're like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It would have been cool if that guy played professionally for Philadelphia at some point.
Got you. What about, what's his name? Danny Barbier. I know if I'm saying that last name correctly.
Yeah.
I know he's not. I know he was born in PA, but I knew he grew up in PA. Played for Miami FC recently, actually. Played for Sporting KC a few years back, I think. So him?
Yeah.
Maybe.
There you go. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go through this. We got a bunch on social from people that they want us to put down.
Okay.
And Megan Klingenberg requires me to put her on, which is fair because she's like arguably the best left back in the world.
Also, but I feel like she's won a World Cup. So
no, she's very clearly on
If you've won a World Cup, like you're.
So I think Pulisic, Kling, and Steffen are locks.
Yes.
We have Abby Dahlkemper, which is why I learned how to say Lancaster because that's where she's from.
Who's
also won a World Cup.
Also won a World Cup.
Ben Olsen is from Pennsylvania back in the day, from a place called Middletown, which I don't know where that is, but I have confirmed it's in Pennsylvania. And then Jim Curtin as well. There's like a lot of guys from this generation who are like, we're all really good pros. Yeah. Maybe you're not calling a superstar. Specifically, Jeff Laurentowicz played professional soccer for 15 years. Bobby Convey played in the Premier League and is from Pennsylvania as well. He's one of the names we got. But it kind of went on and on. So I can't go through all of them.
Peter Pappas, too.
There you go. Yeah, it feels like we're getting – I think it's clearly a state where, like, the level is so high that you get a lot of people who can make it out. And the college scene is good, so that gives players a chance. And now the Philadelphia Union have really built out their academy. Quinn Sullivan, probably a little young to be on this list, but probably will be. Yeah. And everyone hopes Cavan will be on this list.
I was going to say, either brother.
Well, we do something called a lore player, like urban legend. So Morgan was doing research on this, and one of the players for Bethlehem Steel, Archie Stark, 100 years ago, scored the most goals in a professional soccer season in history, still. 67 goals. So It feels like that gets you like urban legend status, even though
Archie Stark, what a great name too.
Great name.
Right.
But then we were like, who else would you say? And you could argue the Sullivan parents could be in this conversation because so I'm going to say this from Quinn's point of view because I don't know how else to do it. His grandfather coached Villanova for like 30 years. His dad was captain of UPenn and his mom, I believe, was captain of UPenn. That's how they met. And then Chris Albright is Quinn and Cavan's uncle, who played for the U.S. men's national team and now runs a team. And now the two brothers are playing professionally for Philadelphia. So, like, something connected to that could be an urban legend because that's a lot of soccer in one family.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely destined to be pros, just growing up in that family. That's amazing.
It's wild. Yeah,
wild.
Jim Curtin
I need to do a
played
deep dive
for
on Archie Stark now.
We got a little video coming out. We're doing some Bethlehem Steel stuff because the jerseys are on point. Everything about it is classic. And Archie Stark he's the goat.
There you go. Ebun, for Breathe Futbol, you could do an Archie Stark line.
That's a real throwback right there.
Seriously.
There you go.
Because actually, funny enough, when I first started LBF, I was doing like a lot of like just legends. Like I did like a Cantona shirt. I did like a Jordan Bell. Just players that existed before I really started watching soccer because that's who my uncles and my dad would always talk about. So I actually like used to watch all their highlights and stuff on YouTube. So Yeah, Archie Stark might be a nice little Philly Legends collection. Just like who's
look at this
this guy?
collab right here. See what we're
Boom.
doing?
Boom.
See, the creative juices are just
I
flowing
love it.
at this Kickback Committee happy hour. This was so awesome. Ebun, thank you so much for taking the time
No, thank you guys
to
for
hang
having
with
me.
us. You're amazing. I cannot wait to see what y'all have in store for the World Cup, because I guarantee it's going to be epic. Before you go, can you tell people how to find you, where to get your stuff? Promote.
Yes, let's do it. So livebreathefutbol.com. That's FUTBOL. On Instagram at LB FUTBOL again. My Instagram is at Mr. LBF. And then if you like shopping in store, we're at the different club shops. Retail, I think we're at the Union Stadium, NYCFC, San Diego FC, Atlanta United, all those ones. We're in Dick's Sporting is about 100 locations. So I'm sure if you're in the Philadelphia area, there's like about 13 or 15 stores that carry our products. So if you pop in, we'll have some stuff that I guarantee might be sold out, but we're doing a restock with them soon. So just look out for us. The best way is Instagram, website, Live Breathe Football, sign up to our email list so you don't miss any drops or anything like that.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend. Let's catch up again soon, okay?
Yes, I would love that. If you guys send me all your emails, I'd love to get you guys some product and stuff so you can
for sure.
Football.
Done.
Hell yeah.
Done. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Boone. Goss, if I see an Archie Stark sign from Breathe Futbol, I'm going to be like, I know exactly where the genesis of that idea came from, and I'm going to be very excited about it.
I love it. It was, so I don't know where things stand right now, but it was interesting in digging back into the Bethlehem Steel stuff. There was another brand called Bumpy Pitch for a while, which is back now, I think.
Oh yeah, it is. I think it is back.
And they were doing some throwback soccer stuff back in the day, and they had a Bethlehem Steel shirt, which I wore and owned. But then in looking at it now, so the Philly Union sort of restarted the club as their 2 team and then changed it again when they moved out of the Lehigh Valley. I think they have the name now, which seems to be a point of consternation for some people. Some people feel like they're doing good stuff with it. Some people feel like it should be released in case someone wants to do something. But the history is amazing. I mean, it's similar when we talked about New Jersey, right? You're talking about the sport was invented in England and Scotland, and these were hotbeds of immigration from those specific places in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So it just made sense. And then you ended up having more Central Eastern Europeans where the game was popular, and it became such a way. Ebun talked about it, it's still now a way for people to find community when they come into the U.S. and come into different places. And his story is the same story I had in college of Facebook pickup chat. We were out at the Fenway Park, every day playing pickup or playing inside. People are in dress shoes and jeans coming from job interviews, whatever it was. But it's such a way for people to connect. So it's cool that to hear other people have that story. It's also cool that he was like, I'm going to do a thing, and then went and did it.
Yeah.
So it's a cool way to function in life.
Yeah. And now his office has an 86-inch television. So there you go. He's hosting watch parties.
Yeah.
He's doing something right. No, that was really fun. Great conversation with him. Goss, before we go, should we tell the people about the American Soccer Playoff Challenge?
I'm calling it Bracktober.
Okay.
It's not going to end in October, but I don't care. I like the nickname. I came up with a thing. I'm not very good with wordplay.
Bracktober.
Yeah, and it worked, and so I'm in.
Okay, I'm on the fence with it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to make it a thing.
So I think one of the things we're really excited about and proud of is how we cover as much of soccer as we can in North America.
We sure try.
And this time of year, MLS playoffs are going to kick off on Friday afternoon. And then the USL Championship and League One are going to end the regular season this weekend, and they're going to kick their playoffs off in 1 week. And then NWSL is going to end their regular season next weekend, and they're going to kick their playoffs off the following week. So we love brackets, and we like competing, and we tried to find a way to make them all match because it's not the same amount of teams. It's not the same structure.
Right.
So we created a format, and you can compete across all 4, and we can see who is the most ball knowledgeable at the end. So starting with your MLS picks, you have to get those in if you want to compete across all four. The way it works is we tiered teams, and you get points for each tier. So the top tier teams, the biggest favorites, you get the least points, and then you have to pick one in each tier, and then you get to choose at the end to double the points of one of the teams you picked, aka, do you want to take the risk and go underdog and get a lot of points, or do you want to be safer and go with one of the favorites? You'd still double your points if you win and you're right and they win the championship, but you obviously would get less than what it would be. So you're going to do it across all four leagues. And the way it works is we have a form out there. It's all over our socials. It is in
it's in
our
bio on our Instagram handle.
So you go in there, and right now just the MLS one is live.
Did you fill it out?
I did fill it out.
I did too.
I guess we could tell people who we pick. It's not a secret.
No. It's not.
So you fill that out, and then the forms will come out for each one. But if you put the same email in, it will connect in our system back to the same person. We are going to have a winner chosen from each league, but we also will have an overall winner, which will be our biggest grand prize. So if you sign up and you put your email down for our newsletter, which is the give back that we're asking, and I think the newsletter is pretty great, so I think you should do that.
Awesome.
Our top prize is a $200 spending spree at any of your local clubs that you can go and spend. So you could go get LBF gear if you are a fan of one of the teams that they have stuff for.
Look at that synergy.
Otherwise, besides that, we've got some kickback giveaways. So we've got hats, we've got shirts. We're going to do a wait, don't tell me style voicemail for someone. You get to choose anyone from the kickback committee that you want, that they will record your voicemail for you if you are lucky enough to win that.
It's our version of Cameo.
It's our version, yes. But you are only eligible if you do all four of them to win the grand prize. And then we'll have a winner in each league. I think you have potentially the favorite internally for us on USL League One. I am hoping my breadth of knowledge is what keeps me alive. I intend to pick by heart, not by logic.
So it's hard for me because
you're gonna pick by heart.
It's like I'm gonna go against one Knox, right? Like I can't go against my husband's team. And the thing is, we just had this conversation actually, because he asked me, he was like, who do you think the best team in the league is right now?
No, he didn't. Is this like him trying to entrap you?
No, not this is the thing. Like we have very serious soccer conversations. And cause we were just talking about the parity in the league. And I was like, the thing is, I'm like, every team, there's not an obvious answer. There really isn't. And I know One Knox has the best record right now, but they also lost to some of the worst teams in the league. And that has happened across the board. And so it's all very, each team is very even. There's no team that has an abundance of stars, in League One. That's just not what the league is. And so what makes it very, very interesting. And I said, the differentiators are if they can play organized and if they're well coached. Obviously, I think One Knox has the coaching advantage because Ian is the best in the biz. But Spokane and Union Omaha are two teams that I saw that have a very, very just kind of a specific way they play. They maintain their shape, and they try really hard. And so I would say One Knox, Spokane, Union Omaha, the three of those, but between the three, it's really hard to kind of differentiate.
Okay.
But One Knox can clinch the Shield this weekend, the Players' Shield this weekend, if they win or draw.
We are all on bated breath. We are waiting for that.
Baby.
And then baby.
Thank you, Kevin Dolan, for noting that in the comments as well.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate it.
So
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I got my picks up. So tier 1, I went with LAFC.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 2, I went with the Philadelphia Union.
Okay.
Which is very fitting for the conversation we're having. Who did you?
I think it was Nashville tier 2.
Yes.
I went Nashville.
I'm going to be at the game tomorrow night. Nashville, Inter Miami. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm so jealous.
It's my first regular season game going as a fan going at all, actually. I've been there for friendlies and other stuff. So yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about it. Traffic is traffic in Miami, so that sucks. But I'm actually really excited. And I think obviously with Messi signing today for a 3-year contract extension, I think there's going to be some juice in the building. Friday night's it's 8 p.m. local, which is great. Like soccer is not that long. It's only 2 hours. So I'd
Yeah.
rather it be later. Everyone could get there. Everyone could vibe a little into it. I mean, Miami, as I learned last weekend, everyone goes out at 5:30 in the morning anyway. So you could go to the game, go home, take your siesta nap, then get up, then go out. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. Tier 3, I had Columbus. The options are Charlotte, NYC, Minnesota, and Columbus.
I think I picked Columbus as well. I was torn between Charlotte and Columbus, and I went Columbus for the Darlington Nagby factor.
Love that. And part of this, like the logic of it all, where you're looking at it, you're like, well, Minnesota and Charlotte are home teams in the first round, and you get points for every round. I think I said this wrong, where you were just picking a champion. You get points for all the things your teams do. So it's like just getting anything right on some of these tiers is going to get you a bunch of points. And then on the final tier, I went with FC Dallas, which was between the wildcard teams, Austin and FC Dallas, because I'm in the bag for Petar Musa, who I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my double team, I went with Columbus.
Okay. Ooh.
They are the team lowest down that I had the most confidence in.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, if they get through, not only do I get a bunch of points for them getting it, and this is me making, I never win anything. So there's no way I'm right about this.
Also, it's MLS. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
I went Chicago just because
got to.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
It was fun last night.
It was really fun, and I thought they played really well. And like, if Hugo Kuipers can keep scoring goals, like that is a really good sign. So I'm hyped for Chicago. And then I think the team I doubled down on was Nashville.
So no Miami fear.
No, I told you I've got Miami fatigue.
Okay.
I've got Miami fatigue, even though Lionel Messi just said he's going to stay until 2028.
Yeah, till he's 41.
I mean, he's unbelievable. Like,
yeah,
still playing at a high level, so why not?
No, he's the LeBron James of soccer right now,
Jesus,
and
I know. So
that's a pretty cool thing to be.
It is. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout to a good one. That's a great handle, by the way. Said Susanna, trade you one Denny Bouanga bobblehead for your Hello Kitty plushie. I'm interested. So, because I have 2 Hello Kitty plushies.
You've got an excess.
I've got 2, both from LAFC, because they do that sort of thing. And I'm a cat lover. So, yeah, a good one. I got you. I'll take your Bouanga bobblehead.
So we've got like 5 MLS playoff games. We've got Napoli Inter this weekend. We've got U.S. Women's National Team tonight.
Yep.
And then El Clasico, which Ebun brought up on Sunday, which I am in a very Barcelona Real Madrid area because everyone mainly is Argentine.
Do you have any sort of like
allegiance on that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I would say in Spain, I root for Atletico Madrid. That's like the team I like the
Yeah,
best.
I like them as well.
So I guess I would say I'm against Real Madrid first. I think they're both teams that I enjoy watching lose. And obviously, when they've been great, they are must-watch television for me. The Benzema years, the Ronaldinho years, the Messi years, like, they were always the first thing you looked at on a schedule for the weekend.
Oh, 100%.
And so I watch them a lot, but I don't have – so I think I like players at times and pieces of it, but I don't think I would lean either way. I guess in abstract, I'd probably choose Barca over Real Madrid more often because they're the Yankees. But Barca is too.
I know.
The beauty of it all has gone away as they've continued to buy players they can't afford and move stadiums and all this stuff. So, I mean, they sold their whole women's team to fund one male player who they can't register.
Yeah.
So
do you
that
remember
part,
back in the day when Barcelona just had UNICEF on their kits? I always thought that was I was like, oh, they're so cool. And
turns out it was just a gateway for them to get sponsorship on.
Yeah, I know. The magic, the luster has been diminished slightly.
But I will say I normally root for Napoli because I find them over the last 10 years, the most.
That is a bucket
club.
list item for me
to
go watch a match at Maradona Stadium. I am dying to go there. It looks insane. And it's apparently a dump, but I just the stadium. I mean, not the town of Naples, everyone. Calm down.
Some people will, I had this conversation this week with an Italian. They would back that up, unfortunately.
Yeah. But it looks outrageous, and I just want to experience it once in my life and eat really, really amazing food while I'm doing it.
That
So,
sounds like a thing to do.
right. You put
After
that-
we go to a soccer bar in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
that will be a stopover on our way to a Napoli home game.
Oh, I wanted to ask him what the best cheesesteak was in Philly.
Oh.
I forgot. We'll
Have you
to
had cheesesteaks in Philly?
Okay, true story. I had never had one, and then last summer, I just still don't know how this happened, but I'm a very, very lucky girl. Liverpool asked me to host a bunch of their events when they were doing their North American tour, and
That's cool.
I'm
It's you and the lads.
I'm still a little speechless over it. Dominic Schoberschlei in person, like that hair. I'm not over it. I'm just not over it, guys. Anywho, I was in Philadelphia, and I was like, I have never had a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Like, this is the trip I'm going to do it. And I fully anticipated not liking it because I was like, I don't know, it just doesn't. I'm Chicago, and we have Italian beefs, and so like I was like, this is never gonna hold a candle to the Chicago Italian beef.
Yeah.
Wow. Like I felt like I wanted to not like it, and I loved it from the first bite. It was love at first bite. Like the cheese whiz, everything, like the texture, like
They got sesame seeds on the bread too.
oh my God, it was so good. It was
seeds.
just so, and I can't even remember the place that I went to, which is terrible.
Because it's like
it
Pat's
wasn't
and Gino's are across the street.
It wasn't one of the like
The
most famous ones.
There's ones called JJ's, which I think is a pizza place nearby that it's like, oh, if you know, you know. Mm-hmm. But now with like Instagram and everything, everyone knows.
It was more of like an Instagram famous one.
Okay. If you're ever in Philadelphia, again, for anyone, if you don't know, the best barbacoa in all of the United States is made in Philadelphia. Yeah, it's down in the like Little Italy market, which is now shifted a bit more between.
Barbacoa.
Yeah, so that's also a good meat if you want it. Speaking of this, my friend down here is from Chicago, and we drove to like Clearwater, St. Petersburg, and when we went, he was like, "Oh, you got to go to Culver's." Which I'd never heard of before. Yeah, and it turns out because there's so many snowbirds along the west coast of Florida, there's like 17 locations of it.
I can't believe you just said that. Guess what I requested for my birthday dinner last night?
Oh yeah, happy birthday. We did this in the chat and not in person.
Oh, it's fine.
Culver's?
Ian and I went to Culver's. We had like a little date.
So it's in Tennessee?
It is in Tennessee. I had Culver's. I had a double Butterburger with cheese last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I contend that it is the best fast food burger out there. Like everyone's like, oh, In-N-Out, Shake Shack. And I'm like, no, it's Culver's.
And the
It's
butter
Culver's.
part is just because of the...
It's the bun.
Yeah,
Just because they butter the bun and then they put it on the griddle.
Yeah.
But it's a smash burger. Oh, it is... The cheese. Oh my God, they have jalapeno cheese curds right now.
But the normal ones were like, they were kind of like mozzarella sticks, like flavoring. Great bite. What a great bite.
Great bite. And they're frozen custard. See, the thing is that like I always fill up on the curds and the burgers, and then I like, but their frozen custard is off the charts too.
Yeah, we got one with the mint, like the mint chocolates in it, so it kind of was like mint chocolate chip. I don't like fast food very often, and I don't eat a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed the meal, and I didn't feel sick, which I thought was the curveball.
We kept waiting last night. We were like, "Oh, are we gonna?" We were like sitting on the couch after. We're like, and I was like,
the ticking time bomb.
Like, I feel pretty good, and he's like, "I feel pretty good." So, because they use good ingredients, and it's like
it's true Wisconsin.
Cheese from Wisconsin, and you know. Come on now. I cannot believe you just said that because I literally
That's so
had
funny.
It last night for my birthday.
Because I thought of it because the person who sent us, they said that their mom sends them Portillos.
That's the Italian beefs.
On Goldbelly for their birthday every year. Yep. And they're like, but if you're there are a few in Florida. There are a few Portillos. We've seen them.
Yeah, they've expanded, which is wild. I'm still waiting for that to show up in Tennessee, but one day.
You've got Culver's.
Got Culver's. Sure do. Try it, everyone.
Yes.
You won't regret it. You won't. regret it. This has been so much fun, Goss. Great hang.
Yeah.
Great happy hour. Are you going to go see T-Pain? What's on the agenda for the weekend other than going to the Miami-Nashville game?
The Knicks are in town.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Which I'm very upset about because it's the first home game of the season, and this is what happened with the Mets. And the teams here, the Miami teams, are bad. So no one will go, and they'll get cheap. But everyone goes to opening day, and everyone goes to the last game of the season. And the Mets played both of those for Miami. So I had to pay an inflated price.
Of course.
Where it's like, if this was in May or June, whatever, it's $10.
It's fine.
And the Knicks is the same. But guess what? They're going to win. So I'm going to go. Boom.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, enjoy it. Have so much fun. I'm going to be probably.
Are you going to the game? Are you home?
Yeah,
Saturday?
we're home. I will be there. And I'm like, the anxiety is already starting.
Do you have a plan? Do you have a stress plan?
I tend to like we drive to the stadium together. And then like I'll walk with him like to the stadium, and then he goes in, we say our goodbyes. And then I like to like walk around the old city because it's really quite charming. And there's a great little bar there called Brother Wolf that I will go and get a Negroni at and sit there. So I'm trying to like keep it like the same. Like I need to like, because I'm a little bit superstitious. So that's what it will involve. And then and then I'll walk to the stadium and just try to remain as calm as I can. But like my heart's already, I'm already sweating. My heart's already beating thinking about it. Because they should win. Like Greenville is already out of it. They're not like really playing for anything other than just to be a spoiler. And they've beaten them, I think, twice already this season. So they should win. They should win, but it's, again, this league is wild and you just never know. So I'm praying for an early goal and maybe take the pressure off a little bit, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time.
7 p.m. on Saturday night, by the way. If anyone wants to watch, that's how you watch it. So you can watch a team clinch, ESPN Plus, right?
ESPN Plus. It'll be their first trophy. I mean, it's a big moment for the club in the city of Knoxville. So we're really excited.
Stuffed Greenville.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Love it. Thanks for that, Goss.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Anytime you need one.
I'm gonna pass that on to you.
I got one for you. Yeah.
He'll love it. But guys, thank you guys for hanging out with us on this fantastic Thursday evening. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy all the soccer things. Make sure you check out all the latest episodes of Soccer Wise Kickback Committee. Subscribe to the newsletter. Join our playoff challenge, American Soccer Playoff Challenge.
Bracktober.
Thank you very much. Do all the things. We love you.